If there's anything I'm proud of currently is being a South African. And not just a South African, but a South African woman. Because hayi bafethu, ingathi nje siyenye nje inqrithi. Ndizothatha umcimbi onokwenza ne-SACR apha, ndithathe nomnye umcimbi onokwenza ne-South African Human Rights Commission. Manqale ngale eye-SACR because baninzi abantu abani-inboxayo lapho bokudonation nokudonate khona ndithi bantu bafuna uku-understanda into yoba what does this SACR stands for, what is it all about. So yi-South African Constitutional Reform, that's what that SACR stands for. Luckily I came across i-interview kaPrince Mthombeni apho noko wacacisa izinto ezizathi kudilwe nazo pha. Njoba sizimisela ukulwisa ugovernment njengamamatshi oko sizimisela into yoba sizolwisana nogovernment kuma-platforms wethu on the street, on the ground, sizimisele nokulwa nogovernment even ecourt kudilwa nomcimbi okwenza ne-constitution because sihlale sithi noba sifuna ukuphakamisa inhloko silwe no-government sibanjwe ila constitution yabo. So sizimisela into yoba kangokuthini ku-amendwe certain things. So what happened is sometime last year phako June ugovernment wafuna uba i-public ama-South African mawaparticipate kwi-constitution, bayenza loo nto leyo. Hayi ke after salindela into yoba ugovernment uzazisa impendulo i-feedback inyana wecwaka kwangathi nje besibhizi nje sisenza nje umbhudede sidlale ngexesha lethu. That is one of the things ezenze into yoba ngoku sithini sibe siphakama sima ngenyawo, but seyincedisa ke ngoku ezinye izinto esizibona into yoba now that sesithatha lo mgabo oba sizamsa ugovernment ecourt singabe sesincediswa nangezezinye izinto. Phantsi koba ke phofu oyena mququzeli walento nguPrince Mthombeni. I am not fully part of that bafethu ne. So into ezane endenze into yoba kube lula into yoba ndibuye ndizoni-explainela, it is because I came across i-interview yakhe eyenze noko into yoba ndikwazi uzoni-explainela. So because yes interviews ziba nge-English andikhalelanga into yoba kube khona namnye umSouth African ozathi aka-understandanga ncama okanye ashiyeke angazi into yoba kwenzekani aphezweni lakhe. So what is going to happen is they're going to challenge ugovernment ecourt phansi kwezinye izinto akaye wazibala. One of the things ezimenshiniwe phana sizi-South Africans sirhalela into yoba sibe negunya eloba sizi-electele upresident thina ngokwethu anga-electwa lelo qembu le-political party yakhe, because xa kunjalo akakwazi ku-accounta kuthi u-accounta phi kulo mbutho wakhe kwelo qembu lakhe aka-andalona. Like upresident Cyril Ramaphosa wa-electwa yi-NEC, committee yakhe yi-ANC, which is why ngoku ezafuna ukuba enze nje unothanda nathi singakwazi ncama ukwenza noba sirhalela ukuba sithi sifuna ukuba makehliswe athini yinto okumele ithini yenziwe ngabantu baseparlament. Secondly, sikhalela into yoba i-South Africans kule nto akabhizi ngayo uPrince Mthombeni, sikhalela into yoba kuma-public institutions, facilities wezikolweni, kwizibhedlela lapha kuprioritizwe abantu base-South Africa. Enye into ebalulekile bafethu before ndiyilibala bokume bandiqale ngayo enhleke yila preamble ethi la constitution it covers abantu who lives in South Africa. Ayi-specify ngendlela abafundi, hence bemane besisa pha. It's more of it like it says into yoba those who live in it. Asifuni la those who live in it, sifuna into yoba ikhavare bani, ikhaterele for bani, for ama-South Africans. Siyenye yezinto kumele bayolungiswa pha. Omnye ke ngoku umcimbi onzulwana and wazi nithatha la mcimbi niyabazi ke bazafuna into yoba baqine nje enyaleni. Sifuna ukuthatha umcimbi onokwenza nama-mines nama-minerals bafethu ne. Sifuna into yoba makubhenefite obani ama-South Africans because ngumhlaba wase-South Africa lwa, but sidibana nomuntu seke sithi hayi u-own imine ethile uyi-owna le mine wena uyithathe phi. So uzoyi-owna nje ukuthi semhlabeni wase-South Africa okumele into yoba usebenzelana nama-South Africa. Umzekelo ngoku the way ugovernment wakhona ugovernment wethu engakhona ngoku apha kwami kungagrojwa kugrojwe kuthiwe nansi sokunegold, ndiyanixelela ndingagxothwa apha kwami the way ugovernment wakhona engakhona. Ziyeva ngomntu uzokuthiwa hayi ugovernment uthi sendithengwa out, phofu bezokwenza iinkuntshunkuthu zemali ndiqhathwe nje ngemadlana bajike bayi-take over sive sokuthiwa yi-owner ikhampani ethile okanye i-ownwa ngabantu abathile. Njani beyi-owner njani le nto? So ikhona nje imikhubanyana engathi njalo esizimisela ukudila ngayo ngaphaya. So that's more or less what laa nto it's all about ne. And kukuthi babhalile not once befuna i-feedback oPrince Mthombeni bayibo government nake nathi saparticipate nithulile ngoku, hence basebethathe esi step esi. Bafethu akuzulunga ke ngexesha elinye singalindeli into yoba le nto izavele kuthiwe nje ngesigubkhwela hayi konke sesipopile konke konke sokuhamba kahle. Baseza na sizafumana i-pushback even from bona. Sibuye size kwelicala le petition. Bafethu ndicela nigugulishe i-petition. Niya nje ku-Google nigugulishe i-petition ezawube ibhale i-Human Rights Commission, South African Human Rights Commission, i-petition yakhona to disband i-Human Rights Commission because of ayisebenzeli. So I'll attach about 2 videos. A1 yeka Prince Mthombeni apho beke interview khona, and then the second one kulapho bokukhona le meeting bokudiscusswa umcimbi wokuthini woba kufunwa ukuba mayidisbandwe ngoba nyani ayisebenzeli even i-top officials eziphakula human rights ngama foreign national. So akhonto enhle ezasenzela yona thina angeke nje isebenzele. That is why xa siqala sithi siyalwa kubavele babalekele court bona. So ayisebenzeli thina because yona ithini iprotect abantu bokufika. So those are the two things I thought I should touch on kule on this video.
This matter is simple. Parliament invited South Africans to participate in the constitutional review process. More than 30,000 South Africans supported SACR's constitutional review submission or campaign rather. We submitted detailed proposals to Parliament, but more than a year later, Parliament has not even acknowledged the receipt of our submission. Despite countless follow-ups and even escalation to the Speaker's office. Now, generally, it's important to clarify that SACR is not asking Parliament or forcing Parliament to consider our submission. We are merely saying we need them to account for the processes that they created, because a public participation process cannot be a symbolic thing or just a box-ticking exercise. Citizens deserve to know if this whole process is transparent and Parliament is accountable for it.
Just remind our viewers when that process was taking place so that we can understand in terms of the time frame and why you've now come to the decision that legal action is the next step.
The process started in May 2025, where the invitation was issued. And I think in the beginning of June 2025, that's when the deadline to submit our proposals was, and we did so. Then 6 months later, as SACR, we made inquiries through the committee in Parliament. They did not respond. We eventually wrote to the Speaker's office, and the Speaker's office responded to us asking for more information, which we gave them. And then the Speaker's office instructed the Constitutional Review Committee to respond to us, but they still did not respond to us. So it's been over a year now, because we are now approaching June. And so we want this whole process now to be transparent so that we know for sure that our time was not wasted when we were asked to submit our proposals.
Well, you're talking 30,000 people, if I heard you correctly, who participated in this process. That's a considerable amount of South Africans. Just very briefly, if you were to give us a summary or an overview of some of the most important recommendations or concerns or comments that was in your proposal or submission, what would that be?
The first one generally was the one that many South Africans would agree with, which is the preamble that says South Africa belongs to all who live in it. We said we want the preamble to be amended to say South Africa belongs to its citizens, united in their diversity. The second one was we wanted public services such as free healthcare, free education, social grants, etc., to prioritize South African citizens. And the third one generally was that we want minerals, South African mineral resources, to benefit South African citizens. And lastly, we wanted South Africans to elect their own president and not to have Parliament electing our president, who eventually does not even account to us.
Besides the selection of the president, Princey, would you say that most of the suggestions made by the people who participated aligns to some of the issues that the protesters have been highlighting in some of the anti-immigration marches that we've seen?
Certainly, it does. And I need to correct you when you say anti-immigration. There's no anti-immigration protest. People are protesting against illegal immigrants.
I've been seeing that there's a lot of support from South Africans, from the public. That must signal how they feel, because I think within a day or two, more than 100,000 100,000 rand was raised for your court bid. That's one. And then just very briefly, where are you at in terms of this legal process now? You're saying you're taking Parliament to court. When will we see that action?
The process is in the beginning, where we are still trying to figure out which legal team is suitable for this case, because we don't want this case to be just anything that comes and goes.
I'm wondering, with over 100,000 rand raised for the legal action so far, the last time I checked, if Parliament acknowledges today or tomorrow, are you dropping the court case, and what happens to the funds?
It's no longer about just acknowledgement alone. It's also about transparency in this process. We want to know how many reviews or proposals that the Parliament received, and what were those proposals proposing. We want to know what people were saying, and if those proposals were accepted or rejected. If rejected, what was the reason behind that?
Madam Mabena, please be reminded that you only have 2 minutes to speak. So please raise the most important questions or comments. If you have lodged a complaint, please also share that reference number with us. Thank you so much. Malome, please come in.
Asibonge, just to start from the beginning there, I think the Constitutional Court came out as of recent and has declared the Human Rights Commission as an entity that cannot enforceably enforce these complaints. So it begs the question of, if you say that we must lodge complaints, what's the point if they're not enforceable by law? Second to that, there's a particular piece in our Constitution, the preamble, that says, and because of time, I'm just going to read a snippet. Lay the foundation for a democratic, open society in which government is based on the will of the people and every citizen equal. Now, the key part here is the will of the people. What is the will of the people? People have been crying about crime. People are crying about illegal immigration. We've seen the dubious nature of the Human Rights Commission when they say allegedly. What is alleged about the crimes that have been committed? There were women, children that got raped, unfortunately, by illegal immigrants because of amazamazama. There's nothing that was said. Today, we are being micromanaged, giving 2 minutes. Listen to what you're doing. Giving a nation 2 minutes to speak about a big problem. And the problem is, at this point, you are being reactive. You are being agitative. You have a fellow from the UN here who wants to have Pan-Africanism in South Africa, and you forget your name is South African Human Rights Commission. So we only hope that this commission gets dissolved. As we've seen, there seems to be a rogue entity within the Chapter 9 institution, starting from the public protector, of which she herself told us she's going to sue us. You want us to set complaints, yet our constitutional courts have told us that you are a toothless backing a Chapter 9 institution.